While we have a chance here, we want to thank the Norristown Area School District for bringing you tonight's game. Director of Communications, Mr. Tony Coya. Our producer, cameraman, / everything tonight, Mr. Sam Galbraith. You can tell we're getting into October. There's a little bit of a chill in the air tonight. Not that CB West District 1 final chill to it.
Well, yeah, it's a perfect night really for a game like this because nobody's going to be deterred to come out by the weather. Just probably perfect for the players to play in. It's not too cold that it's going to affect any of the skilled players, so you're seeing all the talent tonight come out.
2nd and 7 for Pennridge. They have to be hoping going the other way will help them. Nothing else has seemed to help them tonight. Handoff will go up the middle. Only a couple of yards. Only one big running play where they got 6 or 7 yards. The Norristown defense doing a good job of collapsing on the runner. Always tough not knowing who's going to get the ball with one guy running in motion and one guy standing there and another guy standing behind the quarterback. You have to really focus and make sure you know who's getting the ball.
Yeah, but you know what? If they're going to keep putting him in the same spot, it doesn't really matter who's carrying the ball. All you're doing is tackling a white jersey. So Pennridge has not shown that they're going to try to get to the outside yet tonight. I think they know they might not have the speed to do so.
3rd and 6. Briner drops back to pass. Good ball over the middle right there. And now we're going to have personal foul after the play.
Yeah, we're going to get a late hit on Jameel Butler that time. The ball was thrown nicely over the middle. And Butler, I think, laid a little too hard a shot into the back of the intended receiver. It was John Cochin, number 35. And Briner stayed in there nicely. Really hung in well with some pressure bearing down on him and threw the ball right to the stick. All Cochin had to do was catch it, but he knew there were Norristown defenders there and really brought his hands too close into his chest. Ball just bounced off his hands, and then after it had hit the ground, Jameel Butler laid a little bit of a shot to the back.
So coming the other way now, 37-yard line of Pennridge. Very impressed with Andy Briner right there, very composed, as you said. Standing over the middle, he had some time, and the line doing a nice job of giving him a pocket to sit there and let that nice, easy ball 5 yards away to his receiver, and they would have had a first down if he had caught that ball. They get it either way. Cochin now to this side. He'll get out to the 40-yard line.
Would have been Cochin's 6th catch this season. Again, we mentioned that it's the running backs who lead Pennridge in receiving. I think I mentioned the wrong guys, though. It is Rhodes leading the way. He's got 11. Cochin has caught 5 balls this year, and Jim Harris, the fullback, has caught 3. So Briner doesn't like to throw deep, but we saw that he can stay composed and throw short over the middle.
2nd and 7 from the 40-yard line. Briner with pressure on him. Completes the pass outside to Jason Rhodes. He was cutting inside and looking to cut up the field with that. Good pursuit there from Norristown.
And really a well-designed play by Pennridge. It was sort of a screen in which they tried to lose the player out there on the flank with a blocker out in front of him. Norristown really played it well because that receiver was tough to find out there. It looked like they were going to come to this left side. And at the last moment, Briner swung it over, but picked up some yards for Pennridge. Norristown smelled it out, too.
3rd and 5. Harris, the man in motion. Briner back to pass. We'll go to the middle. Butler had an interception right there. Good read there from the linebacker, Jameel Butler, to stay. And that's the lane he's got to fill right there in that 5-2 defense. He did a nice job. Kicking himself that he doesn't have an interception, but still a very nice
Well,
play.
He was in the perfect spot, but he owes James Stewart one. I'll tell you what, next play, next 3rd down better be Jameel Butler blitzing so he can get James Stewart an interception because Stewart was the guy coming right up the middle. Briner just should have eaten that ball. The play did not go as they wanted. Norristown really sniffed it out. Blitzed beautifully.
Davis, a line drive. Edmonds catches at the 25-yard line. Now, Norristown with their worst field position of the night from the 25, and if that's your worst field position, you're not having a bad night.
No, so far the defense is putting Pennridge in enough of a spot where Norristown's offense is starting with a decent spot on the field. And it is an offense that can control the ball some. So 75 yards, they can certainly churn out and eat up a lot of this quarter.
If there was ever a spot to control the ball, you'd like to see it here. Norristown offense has moved the ball a little bit tonight, but really hasn't established themselves as the team that put up 47 last week.
Well, Pennridge has bent but has not broken as of yet. Norristown's trying to break them on this drive.
Stewart, the handoff to Swittenberg. He'll get to the outside. Lead blocker right there with number 77, Kirk Barry.
Norristown, for the past few years, I guess a lot with Swittenberg, has run that play to the short side very successfully. It's not an easy play to run because there's just not a lot of room over there. It has to happen very, very fast. And it was Jameel Butler and also number 57, Jim Davis, on the Norristown offensive line that blew open the early hole. And as you said, Greg, Barry was out in front to pick up anybody downfield. And that's how Swittenberg gets his yardage. You know, these guys love blocking for him because he always gets positive yardage. So a couple holes and a lead blocker out front really helps.
And he got himself a first down. Go back to Swittenberg once again. He'll fight for more yardage. Number 61, Mike Bolzar. Once again, another player shaking his head. Got to be thinking to himself, man, I had a big stop right there, and he got 8 yards somehow.
Yes, Bolzar was free, and Swittenberg was coming at him, but he just cut right away from him. Bolzar did not wrap him up. You know, when you have a great running back like Troy Swittenberg, it's up to the defense when they get their shot to make the tackle. You know, Troy Swittenberg is going to use his blocks extremely well, and Norristown is going to get out and block for him, but when you get your clean shot, you have to deliver it. And you really have to wrap a guy up when you can. And I know Swittenberg's a tough guy, but boy, if you don't wrap a guy up like that, you're going to wind up watching him run away from you.
Bolzar goes 240 and Swittenberg goes 190. If you had told me what was going to happen before the play, I probably would have said advantage Bolzar.
Well, it wasn't a straight on, and unless you're talking about a 50-pound weight differential straight on, you're going to give the smaller guy some the advantage probably. And Troy Swittenberg at 190 is no small guy. He can deliver a punch if he's hitting you first before you're hitting him. And that's what he did to Bolzar that time. Bolzar will remember that, I'm sure, next time he sees Swittenberg.
Norristown got a first down on that Swittenberg run. 2 plays, 2 first downs on this drive, moving the ball effectively down to the 46. Once again to Swittenberg to the short side. Disappointing, he only got 2 that time.
Nice backside help from Jim Harris, who's looked like Pennridge's best player tonight. The other thing that it takes to stop Troy Swittenberg, if he even gets held up at the line at all, it's going to take a lot of backside help, and that was a linebacker that time, the middle guy, Jim Harris, worked his way down the line and shot through to get Swittenberg.
One thing we haven't seen from Norristown tonight, we have seen Swittenberg and we've seen Stewart throw the ball. We haven't seen the fullback and we haven't seen Stewart have to run the ball.
No, and he will only run out of necessity. They don't run an option or anything like that. Right now they're in a power I.
Swittenberg to the left side. He met the man, and then I think 3 people pushed him forward for a couple more yards.
Well, you watch him in the different situations to see everything that he can do. That time, knowing that he wasn't going to get the corner, you saw him line his man up and then just lower the shoulder to deliver the hit. That's how running backs survive, not by taking the punishment, but by giving it out. And Troy Swittenberg, you know, next time he may duck that shoulder and then blow right by, but that time he decided that best way to get his yardage was to lower the shoulder. And that's why he said it looked like people were pushing him. That's because he's the one going forward.
3rd and 5 for Norristown at midfield. Pennridge fans trying to get their defense ready for this play. The pitch to Swittenberg. He'll cut up the middle, got himself a first down. Great run to split a hole. Give him 8 on the carry. And going back to that last play and then looking at this play, That's the thing that it really puts fear in the eyes of the defenders. The fact that you don't know if he's going to lower the shoulder. And if you think he's going to lower the shoulder, he just steps to the side and says, see you later.
Well, he does what the play is designed to do. And I'm a line fan. I really like to watch the line play and see how these guys block on the different plays for Swittenberg. That time it was Jameel Butler who let the defensive end come and then just pushed him right past Troy Swittenberg. Swittenberg saw exactly what was happening, got right by, and there was one less guy to tackle him.
Another first down for Norristown. Just when I say they didn't use that play, they go up the middle to number 7, Lou Samba. Good yardage there, 6 yards, a little change of pace. Got them good yardage.
Oh, and perfect time for that change of pace. They've really been working Swittenberg right and left. And perfect timing and great ball handling by Audley Stewart to hide that ball, tuck it right into Samba's gut, and Samba straight up the middle. That's what you want to see when you have a guy like Swittenberg who can do it all. You want that fullback to come straight ahead, weaken the defense, deliver the punishment. That way it makes it that much easier for Swittenberg to get the big play next time.
Lou Samba, 6'1", 190 junior. Good run right there for him. Back to Swittenberg. He got a yard away from the first down marker. Pennridge said no.
And again, just following the blue shirts down the field. That time was 53, Donovan Palmer. Out in front of Swittenberg. Norristown really likes to at least send one guy out in front of Troy Swittenberg. A lot of times they like to use that guard to pull around, and Swittenberg, so patient, will wait for his block.
I remember saying at the beginning of this drive, Norristown wants to control the ball a little bit. That is what they're doing right now with just over 5 minutes left in the first half. They've held us onto this ball for about 5 minutes in the second quarter. Swittenberg, the head of steam up the middle. He had one man to beat. And somehow 84 Josh Derry made a great tackle to save a touchdown.
And that, again, that's what we talked about. You get his ankle, you get his hip, you get anything, you have to bring him down. Derry that time took the challenge, and really a lot of anticipation built up right there. Everybody thought he was gone. As soon as he made that first Dan step, kicked out of the tackle, everybody thought he was gone, and Derry hung on.
Once again, another first down. 2 receivers to the side, Edmonds and Terrell. Swittenberg getting a lot of work, and he'll get the ball once again. Splits through another hole. Gets 5 yards. Only positive yardage for Norristown, and that's exactly what they needed on this drive.
You know, out around the 30-yard line, I thought that maybe Norristown would change things up and go to the air, but down this low now, there's really no reason to. And you know, this game, it's only 2-0, even though Norristown has certainly had the better of the play so far. There's no reason to change it up and take any risks right now. Norristown already having thrown 1 interception, although certainly it was in a different situation. They're lining Samba up right in front of Troy Swittenberg, and I don't think they're going to change.
Samba picking the guy he wants, I think, right now. Terrell in motion. Quick hitter up the middle to Samba. He'll dive. He may have gotten the first down. Good run right there by the junior. Just short, I believe. So you don't think this is a time for a good little fade play to the corner?
No, I don't think Norristown's going to need that right now. Again, no 0-yard carries so far this game. So at 3rd and 1 right now, you go with what's gotten you down to this point. We will see it later in the game, I'm sure of it, but not on this drive.
To Swittenberg up the middle. He got hit the first time, said, nope, I'm getting the first down. And there it was. He ran into number 23. That was Jason Moore. And that young man's a little sore right now.
Second time Mars met up with Swittenberg, and Swit's 2-0. And that one was straight on. That's the one you expect the guy to make. Marr, it's a 172-pound linebacker. So when you got the running back with a lot more weight and a lot more size than your linebacker, you might expect that kind of battle and that kind of result.
1st and goal from the 8. The line earning their paycheck on this drive. Swittenberg once again. Got to the outside, may have gotten 1.
Kurt Wargo, nice break up that time. Got low, really broke up the play and filled that gap that Swittenberg was supposed to go into. And with a little bit of help from his friends, Swittenberg wasn't able to get through the guard tackle hole.
They got to score. They got to score.
No gain on the play, may have lost one.
And if we are going to see the ball in the air, this is where you're going to see it. Norristown's not going to wait till third down. If they're going to do it and they have Edmonds isolated one-on-one on the left side, this is where you're going to see it.
Stewart rolls out, gets hit, fighting for the end zone, got to the goal line, just didn't get in. I like that play right there. They rolled out Audley Stewart. He's very athletic, and hey, let him try something.
And it's a great call, and I have to admit, I've totally forgotten about that weapon because Audley Stewart has been acting as a very efficient pocket passer tonight, and they've been just running the ball straight ahead with Swittenberg. I forgot about that weapon. And in a spot where you think that they might go to the air, with Audley Stewart rolling out, you think, uh-oh, here they go. And Stewart saw that there was that corner down real close to the goal line. Now there's no messing around. Now you punch it in.
3rd and 1, Norristown looking for points right here. Hand off to Swittenberg, touchdown. A great drive culminates in a 1-yard run from Troy Swittenberg, and he deserved to get the yardage right there. Great play calling from Norristown. They dominated the ball for most of this second quarter, and they've got themselves 6 points.
Let's rewind the tape. 9:42 to go in the second quarter. So this is a Norristown offense that can grind the ball out, that against good teams, in good battles, with really something on the line in games like this. This is the kind of offense that can grind it out. Well, 8 minutes, 33 seconds later, Norristown's got a 6 on the board. And the time and the point differential right now would dictate that they go for 2.
And here come the footballs. Cheerleaders are streaming footballs to the crowd and seeing some of the catches they've made. They should be in uniform.
Yeah, well, we better put into the budget for some more footballs too this year. This is an offense that's putting up a lot of points. Not a lot tonight, but again, this is the kind of game where you control the ball, you control the play, and Norristown is just going to kick the field goal. Kick the extra point, not going to go for 2 to make it a 10-0 lead, and take their chances with their defense.
The way it looks like it not going to matter. Norristown defense holding Pennridge scoreless so far in the first half. Spitko's kick is up, and it's good. So Norristown takes a 9-0 lead with 1:09 left in the first half. Fans appreciate that drive. That's a Norristown team that should be very, very proud of that drive. That's one, if they win this game, they're going to look back and say, that was one of the turning points.
Well, this is a Norristown team now that especially in this division, well, I shouldn't say especially in this division because Norristown always expects to go to the playoffs, but they take it one game at a time. I know it's a cliche, but they really work their way through and build up to the end of the season. But I think the fans, knowing that Norristown has now moved into this division, which I think everyone would consider, and you look at state rankings, you have to consider it a good but weaker division than what they were in Suburban 1 National. I think everybody really expects the playoffs now, and we'll see how Norristown responds under that sort of pressure. The players so far responding tremendously this whole season, but we're going to see now how Norristown responds under the pressure of going to the playoffs, and that's the kind of drive that gets you to the playoffs, but that's the kind of drive that wins in the playoffs. Norristown didn't need to put the ball in the air once that whole drive, and that's how you're going to get there, and that's how you're going to do some damage in the District 1 playoffs. Easily the toughest district in the state, and in the state playoffs should they get that far.
You know, the quarterback always sits there on a drive like that and taps his foot saying, oh, let me throw the ball, let me throw the ball. No need for it right there, and I can bet you that Audley Stewart was grateful to get that 7-yard run. Spitko's kick low, through the hands of the up man. Now Rhodes will take it. He'll try and break to the right side. He's got a hole. There's a flag down on the play. He beats one man to the outside. And he is going to go into the end zone. Let's see what that flag is going to be.
Well, didn't see the play, but it's thrown in about the spot where you're going to see an illegal block. And that's not a block in the back, that's a clip coming all the way back.
And to be honest with you, by the point where they threw that foul, that flag, Rhodes was going to the right side already. That block didn't look like it was necessary.
No, it really wasn't, but what happens on a play like that, the thing that starts off that play is the up man tries to catch the line drive kick from Matt Spitko. As it goes through his hands, now that up man is taken out of the play as a blocker because he has no momentum coming forward. So Rhodes runs right by him. As Rhodes cuts across the field, there's a lot of space there. And as everybody's trying to flow that way and help out Jason Rhodes, you get somebody blocking from behind. And again, like you said, Greg, really unnecessary. Didn't spring Rhodes at all. He was all right to the outside, but wow, what speed from Jason Rhodes.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'd love to see he and Troy Swittenberg in the 100-meter dash. I'm sure it'd be for silver with Ernie Terrell out there, but Jason Rhodes, a lot of speed down that sidelines, outran 3 defenders, just flat out outran them. Unfortunately, it looks pretty, but it all came back.
Could you imagine what a ball game we would have had on our hands if not for the illegal block right there? Now Pennridge will start from the 21.
There would have been some fire going in the locker room.
Okay, so over the middle, picked off. Troy Swittenberg with a great block right there. Now he's going to do what he does best, running the ball back. The interception thrown right there by number 11, Andy Briner, the quarterback. Swittenberg was in a perfect position. Now Norristown with 41 seconds left, a chance to put more points on the board.
Wow, and that is critical. That is a critical mistake after you just had a play called back. They tried to go back down the sideline to Rhodes, but man, he was nowhere near. I mean, if it wasn't going to be Swittenberg, it was going to come down nowhere near Jason Rhodes down the sideline. And it was an easy interception for Troy Swittenberg. I think Pennridge, seeing they're down 9-0 and knowing that they just cost themselves a big play with an unnecessary clip, tried to do some damage and really tried to get on the board with some excitement and not take away from that big play by Rhodes. It wasn't a good time for it, and Briner had no one to throw to.
It's where you beat a team like Norristown. You have to take some chances. Unfortunately, that one backfired for Pennridge. Stewart back to pass now. Little pump fake. He'll go to the end zone. Terrell, touchdown! Oily Stewart's pump fake bit the defender. Ernie Terrell in the end zone. In the last 30 seconds, we have had the biggest swing of momentum I have ever seen at Roosevelt Field. All of a sudden, Norristown is up 15-0.
And in these last 30 seconds, you've seen the separation between these two teams, two undefeated teams, two teams that have not struggled much at all this year in beating their opponents handily, but you've seen the separation. Pennridge, when they get the chance for the big play, have a big mistake that costs them. Then they try to make another big play and really don't execute well at all. And then Norristown, they do have the big play capability.
Spitko's kick is blocked, so the extra point attempt failed. But Norristown up 15-0 with 34 seconds left. Nobody could have expected that to happen after that huge drive. I think a lot of people would have been happy going in 9-0. 15-0 is a nice lead for Norristown, going against an undefeated team that was supposed to, give them a real challenge tonight.
And it shows that Norristown is thinking past just, not thinking within this game, but really for the whole season, thinking past just winning a division or finishing with a certain record. They're really thinking into the playoffs. That play right there demonstrates the killer instinct that gets you by the good teams like Pennridge. To have the big turnover and then go right after it, back to Ernie Terrell in the corner, a play that they've tried twice tonight, and a ball's either been overthrown or underthrown, resulting in an interception. That time, Aldie Stewart, right from the hip, just slings it out there. Again, Terrell waiting for it a little bit, but such great moves and such tremendous speed. He was wide open in the corner and had the time.
I'm guessing Matt Spitko is going to kick a little bit away from Jason Rhodes this time.
Well, he's been the only guy who's shown that he can hurt you, and luckily for Norristown, Pennridge hurt themselves on it and negated Rhodes' play.
As an offensive coordinator and an offensive coach, you've got to like the one-play, 7-second drive that gets you 6 points.
Well, at the end of the half, you sure do. I'm sure Norristown would love that 8-minute and 33-second drive they had earlier, too.
A semi-onside something or other right there. Pennridge will start from the 42, 43-yard line. 31 seconds left. We think Coach Jeff Hollenbach is going to do right now.
I think he seems very anxious. They tried that reverse a little bit early. They tried their big play right there a little bit early. You hope for Pennridge's sake that they haven't spent all their bullets, but I think right now he's going to be pretty conservative.
Handoff up the middle, and a huge hit right there from number 25, Terry Powell. Get in on that play. You wonder what Pennridge would do with under a minute left with the ball. And now you've no idea what the strategy is, because now they get the ball again, and like you said, they might have spent all the ideas that they had.
Yeah, well, I mean, with this much time left, there's really not a lot of options when you don't have the deep threat. Rhodes obviously has the speed, but I don't think he's a deep threat, and I don't think Briner is the deep thrower that you need, even if they had a deep threat receiver. Have not seen the ability to have a big running play. So from this point, really, you want to go in. I mean, you're only down 2 touchdowns with the 2-point conversion on one of them. It's only 15-0, but you can't help but think maybe Pennridge should have gone in 9-0, and they certainly would have felt like they were a lot more in this game.
Another half of shutout football, barring any miracle play right here. And Norristown defense, once again, they are the story. They make things happen. And of course, setting up that last play and also putting 2 points on the board with the safety earlier in this game.
And Norristown's defense, obviously, doing exactly what you want to do, and that's shutting teams out, not allowing a lot of points. But in doing that, they've also created a lot of turnovers, and they're getting them again tonight.
Maybe the last play of the half here. Briner will go back to pass once again. Little pump fake, he'll go deep for his man. Picked off by James Edmonds. Edmonds will smartly run out of bounds. So Briner with the pump fake, he tried to beat his man downfield. Great coverage by the safety, James Edmonds. He read that play, saw the ball was underthrown, picked that off.
Well, Swittenberg had the corner coverage. I mean, the Swittenberg was step for step with the receiver on the far side. There was absolutely no room. And when you get corner coverage like that, and then a 6'3" safety like James Edmonds, there's not going to be a whole lot of room. And Pennridge also isolated that man down the sideline, and there were no other threats. If you're going to go into a pass pattern, especially at this point in the game, and you're going to roll out, and your opponent's going to know that you're throwing the ball, you really need more than one threat out in the field. And that time they just sent a guy down the sideline and tried to throw deep.
Norristown will kneel down. And at the end of the first half, Norristown got to be very happy with this performance, 15-0. They're shutting out the only undefeated team left in this league. The fans give them a rousing ovation as they come off the field. They deserve it. They have dominated this second quarter. They have got to be happy with their performance so far. So that's the end of the first half. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with third quarter action in just a moment.